You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of ABK Media Group, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County every day at 9 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney. So happy to be here with you today. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Lover's Day. It's such a beautiful day, and we have a great day here in Gwinnett. It's supposed to be about 62 degrees, which is really nice. No rain, a lot of sunshine, so you can get out and do some things with the love. With your lover, your husband, your partner, your spouse, whatever that is. Just excited about that. So cool today. I got some great announcements for you. A lot of stuff. Listen, if you are planning on doing something this evening, there are a lot of great things that you can do. I was just checking out some things, especially over in Norcross. Norcross has some really cool things. They have some singers that's serenading you on the streets. If you want to go over to Norcross at South Peachtree Street, they have the singing group, the quartet, serenading people over there. That's wonderful. They also have carriage rides. The carriage rides are free. You can take a picture with the one you love. That's free. They got a lot of great things going on over in Norcross, so make sure to check them out. Also today, if you want to get married, but you got to have your marriage license, they are holding wedding ceremonies today over at the Isaac Adair House over in Lawrenceville on Clayton Street. You can go there and get married. It's free. They got a lot of free stuff going on. You can tell they love here in Gwinnett. Also, if you are renewing your vows, you can go over to the Isaac Adair House and also renew your vows for free. So a lot of things going on to help you if you are in love or trying to stay in love and get in love. A lot of stuff going on today for Valentine's Day. For my People Helping People segment of the day, I want to give a shout out to an organization that I think is really cool because, we're approaching the summertime and, the swimming pools are everywhere and people want to go swimming. And so this organization is called Shallow Water Blackout Prevention. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, a lot of times when you're swimming, you hold your breath from the water for a long periods of time. It could cause you to black out. And when you do that, that could cause you to drown. So this organization, Shallow Water Blackout Prevention, helps prevent that. And they're looking for ambassadors to come out and be representatives and help them promote safety when it comes to swimming and swim pools and things like that. So if you want to know more about them and how you can get involved, and as always, monetary donations are always accepted. I don't know a nonprofit out here that don't accept monetary donations. So if you got a monetary donation you want to donate, or if you would like to be an ambassador for Shallow Water Blackout Prevention and to help prevent deaths, kids go in the water, they think it's fun to just go there and hold their breath for long periods of time, but it could actually become deadly. And we want to be able to prevent that. And, the summer is coming, the pools will be open in May, and, you want to be able to make sure everyone is safe and have a great time. So for more information about how to get involved with Shallow Water Blackout Prevention, go to shallowwaterblackoutprevention.org and you'll find more information there. I got a great guest coming up today, but I just want to run through a couple of announcements just so you'll know what's going on around the city, around the county. The referendum for the transit is coming up. I interviewed Marsha Beaumar yesterday, and she was talking about that, the referendum and what's coming up. And you get to vote on March 19th. But if you got questions and you want to know more about the whole transit plan, and and so you can know how to vote, they're having information sessions and educational sessions next week. Thursday, February 21st at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Shorty Howard Park Activity Building. That's 2750 Pleasant Hill Road in Duluth. You can go out there and get information about the transit plan. Also on February 23rd, which is a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Snellville City Hall, 2342 Oak Road in Snellville. They also have information sessions. And February 26th, Georgia Gwinnett College Student Center, 1000 University Lane. There's going to be a session there as well from 9 a.m. to noon. And on Thursday, February 28th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can get more information there as well. So you got a lot that's at the Gwinnett Fire Academy, 3608 Brazelton Highway in Decula. So there's a whole list of information. If you go to Connect Gwinnett Transit, you can find out more information about those events. If you get your questions answered, if you have some reservations about the transit plan and you really need to know more about what that entails, make sure to go out to those events and, get the information that you need so you'll know how to vote in the upcoming transit contract referendum. Listen, I got a great guest on today. She is the Gwinnett Community Outreach Program Director. Her name is Miss Nicole Love Hendrickson. She got a perfect name for today, Love. Nicole, thank you so much for taking the time. We have been trying to set this interview up for quite some time. She's a busy woman, and I really do appreciate the fact that you have made some time on your schedule to do this interview, because I think that your department or you run a lot of great programs, and I want you to just tell people about the program. I didn't even know until I met you and I went online and saw all the things that you guys do, and some really cool programs. So give us a little background on you, and then I want you to go into some of these great programs that are offered right here in Gwinnett.
Well, first I want to thank you, Ms. Audrey Bell Kearney, for hosting me today to talk about things that I'm passionate about, like you, all things Gwinnett County, and happy Valentine's Day to all of the listeners. So I started this role with the county in 2015. It was a newly created position to develop a intentional, thoughtful, and strategic program that engaged many residents across the county. As diverse as Gwinnett County is, we weren't seeing that representation in much of our efforts in the county. So we lacked participation from many of the various community and cultural groups. So this role really was designed to put an emphasis on outreach to those underrepresented and underserved communities in county government, because we know that as government, we can't do our part unless everybody has a seat at the table and all parties are represented and that their voices are heard and that they're involved in the planning and the decision and the execution of the things that impact them the most. So we created the Community Outreach Program in 2015, which involves educational programming and workshops, community events and forums, stakeholder meetings, and collaborative partnerships. And I'll touch on each of those.
Okay.
So with educational programming and workshops, the first thing that we decided was important to develop was an educational outreach program to educate our constituents and our residents about what Gwinnett County is. How are you represented in county government? How do you know what services you're provided? How are your taxes allocated? Where does the budget come from? And how do our leaders spend your tax dollars? Things like that, having basic information is empowering to residents. And so it's very important for residents to understand the community that they live in and how their government works. So we created a program called the Gwinnett 101 Citizens Academy, which is offered twice a year. We have a spring program and a fall program. You actually can go and apply to either the spring or fall now. The deadline is March 1. If you go to Gwinnett101.com, you can review the program schedule, the program goals. You can also apply online. It is a weekly program that meets every Thursday for 10 weeks, and it's in the evening. We move around different facilities around the county to give exposure to our various facilities, but the topics include many of the administrative departments that you, as a resident, would see, touch, hear, feel: police, fire, our tax commissioner, our budget and finances. And so we meet at the various facilities, and our county leaders, and oftentimes our county department directors, come and spend time with our residents to do an educational session, to give a presentation about their departments, the services that are provided, and you also take very cool tours. I think one of the highlights of the program are the tours. Like we take a tour of the water treatment facility that's up in Beaufort. We take a tour of our new fire academy that's up in Decula. We do simulators with the police department. We review our DOT Central and see how traffic is controlled in the county. And so those are some of the fun aspects of the program. We accept 30 participants for each cycle. And one of the greatest things that I see that come out of that program is residents coming together and forming friendships and bonds, and then actively participating in their own neighborhoods, but also coming back to volunteer with the county, serving as our ambassadors, serving in leadership roles and positions, appointments to boards, and that kind of thing. And so we're starting to see an influx of new people coming to the table, young, old, various demographics, some local native Gwinnetians, and those that come from outside of Gwinnett County are participating in this program. So
that's cool.
It's really fun. You should consider it, Audrey. I want to see your application come through.
My application in, Nicole, is so funny. I'm so glad we're talking about it because I read about it, and I was, and it's so funny. I've been here. I was born in Georgia, but I was raised in Jersey, and I've been back in Georgia now for 5.5 years. And I got to tell you, I've been so busy trying to, get the business off the ground and all that kind of stuff. So I just have not been able to just get out there until last year. I got out, I joined the chamber, I said, okay, I got to get out there. I got to get my name out there. I got to get to meet people. But one of the things I actually really, really, really want to do is something that you touched on, is meet my neighbors.
Exactly.
Where I live, they had an ice cream get together last year in July. It was July 25th, and I had to go to Jersey. And I was so upset. I wanted to call the people so bad and say, hey, can you cancel it and wait till I get back? Because I just really wanted to meet my neighbors. And it was ice cream social, and I was going. So I am definitely going to see my application. I'm definitely going to put it in because I think that's an amazing, amazing program. Now, let me ask you this. Since the inception of the program, how many people do you think have come through the program so far?
So far, we've had over, I want to say 225 adults have gone through our program. We also have a youth version of it where we meet in the summertime, and it's geared towards high school students. And to date, we've graduated close to 60 high school youth who've taken the course, and that's our Gwinnett Youth Commission. And so in that program, it very similar, but we also tie in some leadership development to give our students some leadership skills, some life skills, some team building skills to help them be stronger as youth advocates for the county. And so we've to date have graduated close to 60 through our youth commission. So that program has been very successful, and we are also accepting applications for the next cycle, which will start this summer. And the deadline for that is March 29th. And we're going to be kicking that off in the summer, and that's a year-long program. So they get the training in the summertime, and then they do their service projects and various trips and tours throughout the entire year. So they take a lot of the lessons that they learn over the summer back to their schools, back to their communities, but we also bring them together to do various service projects around the county. And so we're continuing to grow, where we've been getting a lot of requests to do daytime programs to meet the needs of some of the place-based residents, like our seniors. And so that's another option that we're looking at as well, is to host a daytime program because it's become so popular. We only have 30 slots. We get hundreds of applications in to fill each of those slots for both spring and fall. So it's very, very, very competitive. But, we want to try to serve and educate as much as the public as possible. And so we're looking at different ways to meet the demand now, which is a very good problem to have.
I was taking a look at that program, and I didn't know it was just for high school students at first, because I was excited because my niece is a college student, and I was like, oh man, she's a poli-sci major. And I was like, oh man, that sounds like something that'd be great for her. And then when I got a little bit further, like, you have to be in high school. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. But I do. So I chair the Gwinnett Young Professionals, and there is a leadership institute that is tied to the Gwinnett Young Professionals. And I can definitely share more information about that as well. And if your niece is interested, would love to get her connected, because the Young Professionals does target the college age up to 39. And so pretty much the network under 40.
Okay, that sounds great. I did get a chance to talk to Jessica early on in the show, and so she was a great interview. Yeah, she was a really cool interview. She gave us a lot of information about Gwinnett Young Professionals organizations and the things she does there. So that's really cool too. I mean, I got to tell you, I've been here 5.5 years, and I lived in Jersey pretty much my whole life. And I always have to give a shout out to my family and friends in Jersey. But this place has such an amazing array of just programs, and it's so, when people say, when I said I was moving to Georgia, the first thing people think is, is country. That's what they think. And because I actually moved to, my husband works in pharmaceutical, and they had a contract for medicine that they lost the contract for, and the company shut down, so everybody kind of left the company, and we moved to North Carolina for a brief moment for like 2 years, but we were literally in the country. It was like 2 stoplights and one school. It was crazy. We were in the country. There was horses behind the house. We had plum trees and apple trees and pear trees. And so when people came to visit us, they thought we had lost our mind. It was like, you guys have crazy. So when we say we were going to move to Georgia, and I kept telling them, listen, I was born in Georgia. Like, I love Georgia. My soul lives in Georgia. And they were thinking, oh my God, it's going to be the country again. But when they came to visit, it's like, this is beautiful. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
It's because it's beautiful here.
It really is, and it's your own little kind of urban center outside of the city. So you got your suburb urban feel, and you have everything here that the city has to offer, and you can do almost anything in Gwinnett County that you would do on a vacation without ever having to leave. We got the lakes, we got arts, we got activities, we got family-friendly programs. So it's something for everyone here. And the diversity, it just makes me fall in love with this place over and over. I'm a fellow Northerner as well. I'm originally from Rhode Island, and I came down here in 2005 and fell in love with it because of the diversity, because up north, it's pretty diverse. And, I have friends of all walks of life. And when I came down here, I said, well, I wonder what the culture is like, but it's like everybody's friends with everybody. And you are always going to meet somebody that just embraces you with open arms. And I never got the feel, when you think of the South, that it's so black and white. It's not, especially in Gwinnett County. It's just so inclusive. And I just love the diversity here, and continuing the trend of having friends of all walks of life that I can learn from, and then in turn it helps me grow too. So
it really does. And you said something that was kind of cool. I was reading earlier. Just this is one of the things I like. So they're having a dinner for Valentine's Day at the. Let me see. I got my little notes here because this is cool. Let me see. They're having a dinner tonight. Wait a minute, where did I write it at? Okay, it's a soulmate soiree. It's a one-stop center in Beaufort, and it's $15 a person. Here's what I like about this dinner. It's because they have childcare. So I thought that was so cool. So if you have children, but you still want to go out and enjoy dinner and you don't have a sitter, they have childcare. And I was like, what? That is amazing. My daughter just had a baby. The baby was 3 weeks old yesterday. She wanted to go to the movies. And so they actually went to the movies, paid for the movie, went inside, sat down, ordered their food. And the guy came and said, there's no babies under 5. And so they had to get a refund and leave the movies. And I was like, man, that's so crazy. But there's times when you really want to go out and you just don't have a sitter. And tonight's probably one of those times. So, the One Stop Center over in Beaufort is offering childcare while you enjoy dancing and Italian food and, just hanging out with the person that you love. I think that's amazing. And that's what I like about here, because I just find that there's so many programs and so many things offered. One of the programs that you guys do over at your department is the the police academy. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because, we hear so much, especially in African American communities, about, the things that go on with the police and why we don't understand each other and things like that. But we actually have an academy that, helps the citizens know more about how to interact with us. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to our Chief of Police, Chief Butch Ayers, who is so community minded when it comes to his department. And he has a Police Citizens Academy. They're also accepting applications for the Police Citizens Academy. But it really is just what you said. It is designed to help people understand the role of police officers, but also to build those relationships and break down those barriers, that stigma, that fear that a lot of communities have when it comes to police departments. And so the goal of that program really is to walk you through the life of police officers. And you do simulators, you get to hear from the chief of police, you get to do ride-alongs, and once you graduate that program, they train you also as ambassadors to help be citizens that are, I won't say vigilant in recognizing crime, reporting crime, but also just being partners with the police department, because it really does take the community to have full support of the community for police officers to be effective in their jobs. And they have to build those relationships with those communities as well. So their Police Academy, Citizens Academy, is a 12-week program. They're also meet in the evenings, and they take applications. I'm not sure when their deadline is, but I highly encourage anybody that is interested in also learning about a career in law enforcement. This might give you a taste of what it's like. They have an adult version and they have a youth version. So they have the Youth Police Citizens Academy targets middle school. So they have a week where they train middle schoolers in the summer, and then a week where they train high schoolers. And the intent really is to educate, build relationships. But if somebody comes out of it wanting to have a career in law enforcement, even better, because what we're seeing as a national trend is a decline in people going into law enforcement, especially people in communities of color. And it's so important for communities to see police officers that look like them on the force. It just builds a sense of safety, community, and just really breaks down the fear and the stereotypes of what police officers are.
So now you said that there's a trend that there's not that many people signing up for law enforcement. Do you know why that is? Do you have any idea why that is?
Yeah, and I will say, you hear what's happening all across the news. Police just have a target on their back now, and it's just a very dangerous, you're putting your life on the line, you're putting so much at risk going into this field that it's just not, it's not an attractable job like it was in the past, where you're hailed as a hero. And in the past, you were hailed as a hero going into police force or fire or any type of public safety profession. But now police are not hailed as heroes because of recent incidences with police brutality and just having the negative stigma and targets on their back. So you're seeing the decline in people going into that profession, and people are now more moving towards those STEM careers and careers where they can make a living doing something like saving lives or creating some type of industrial machine or something like that. So those are becoming more attractive now. And so, where our police department is always hosting career fairs, and we're targeting HBCUs, we're targeting the communities of color, we're even going all over the nation to recruit.
Wow.
Because it's such a shortage, and it's not just our department, it is all across the nation.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I see the sign, because whenever I'm on 316, I see the sign, job fair. And I'm thinking, okay, are they having a job fair that often? I didn't realize it was such a shortage.
It is. They're having it very often, and it's it's all types of positions, from police to 911 operators, administrative professionals, et cetera. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I got to tell you a quick story. So I was going to be in law enforcement. This is when I was young. I came out of college. I was going to go into law enforcement because my mom's, one of her best friends, her brother was in law enforcement, career Newark police officer. I think he was a chief or something, or lieutenant or something. And so everybody was going into law enforcement, like you said, because it was attractive. And so I was going to be a correction officer. And I went through the whole program, and the day I had to do the walk through the prison scared the daylights out of me, Nicole. I was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. And my mom tried to say, she's like, oh, you're going to look so cute in your uniform. I was like, listen, I cannot do that job. It scared me to death. I was like, I'm not going to do that one. So, but you're right. It's a pretty, and I have people that did go through, like I have a friend, she retired from there. And I have a friend now that's probably going to retire. She's been there for a very long time, but it was like a bunch of us, and probably it was about 7 of us. And out of 7, I think 3 actually went into the academy and stayed, and they're still there. One is retired, but it scared me in the daylight. I was like, no way, I can't do it.
It takes a special kind of person to go into that field, and I give so much praise and credit for those who do.
Yeah, and I think too, it changes who you are a little bit because you have to become tough. And I think for me, it was just like the whole scary, like first of all, you see people that in there. I went to high school in Newark, so I was going to be a CO in Newark, which I'm sure I was going to see some people that I knew. That was one thing that freaked me out. So it was an experience that I did not follow through on. Let me just say that. There's one other thing I see here that you guys do, Dinner and Dialogue. Tell me a little bit about that program because it sounds pretty interesting.
It is. And Dinner and Dialogue was also started along the same year where we created some of our other programs in 2015. And that really was a way how do our elected officials, meaning our board of commissioners, our chairman, reach their constituents outside of the normal formal meeting setting? How can we sit down, break bread with our residents, talk about issues that concern them, and come up with some ideas and hear from them what they would like to see happen in their neighborhoods and communities without the stigma of a commissioner sitting on a dais, you having to come to a courthouse, you having to set up a meeting, but just going to the communities themselves and hearing from the residents. So it really started as a way to bring residents together to meet with commissioners. And it started with Chairman Nash, who had the vision and wanted to meet with her constituents. She wanted to do it once a month, have dinner at various locations around the county, and allow residents to register and sign up for whatever dinner that they would have liked to choose, whether it be in their district or another community. And of course, they would pay for their own dinner, but have an opportunity to get answers to questions from how do I get a speed bump in my neighborhood to how can you tell me more about transportation in Gwinnett, to help me understand some of the programs that are for seniors in the community. I mean, the topics really run the gamut at every meeting, and depending on who's in attendance, and you may get an entire group that solely wants to focus on one topic, or you may get a group that wants to break it up and talk about many different topics. But we've always left with a sense of a better understanding about the role of the Board of Commissioners and the chairman's decision making, and how and the importance of residents being at the table, voicing their concerns, connecting with their leaders to share things that they probably would not have thought of if they had not had that one-on-one conversation with their constituents. And so it's been very beneficial for both ends, because residents get to learn about the things that are happening around the county from our leaders, from each other, but also our leaders get to get some really cool ideas on things that the county can implement to address some of those concerns. So it's been a great program. Continue to see success with that. We're accepting reservations for the next dinner, which is in March. So that is coming up. on March let me look at the date because it's not updated on our website yet. Our next dinner is March 18th, and that's at 6 o'clock. That is going to be in District 1. So it's going to be either in Duluth, Sewanee area. If anybody's interested in signing up, we do have slots available. And for any of our programs and event information, you can go to GwinnettCommunityOutreach.com and get a listing of the dates for Dinner and Dialogue. You can get information on the Gwinnett 101 Citizens Academy, the Gwinnett Youth Commission, other outreach opportunities with the other divisions and departments. But yeah, that information will be live on that website.
So now, if anyone, this has been such an amazing interview, and I thank you so. Well, I don't even call it an interview, a conversation.
Yeah,
conversation, because it just gives you so much insight on all of the different programs that we have here in Gwinnett, that's focused on making us a really vibrant community. Not that we already aren't, because we are, but it's to continue that vibrancy. Right. And, without people like you at the helm running these programs and putting out some great information, I thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing over here. Tell people if they want to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you? Because I know that there's a lot of information out there and they just may want to talk to someone. And I don't know if that's an option, but if it is, how can they reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely. Anything. I mean, I've been in the county since 2005, so I'm very familiar with all things Gwinnett County. But if you're specifically looking for opportunities to get involved, volunteer opportunities, engagement opportunities, leadership development, philanthropic opportunities, I am happy to talk to anybody that wants to learn more about wanting to get engaged, because that really excites me when people are excited about getting involved in their community. You can reach me one of two ways. I'm available via email, which is usually the best way to reach me, and that's Nicole.Hendrickson, and that's with a CK, Nicole.Hendrickson@GwinnettCounty.com. Or they can call me at 770-822-8877. And I already shared the website with more additional information about our programs and services, but that is the best way to reach me if anybody has any questions or want to meet for coffee, or even want to just email me to share some ideas on ways that they would like to engage with us. I'm always willing to meet with our residents and happy to speak with them about all things Gwinnett.
I got to tell you, this is the first time I've ever been in a place where everybody want to sit down and talk to the residents. That's amazing. Thank you so much. It really is. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this morning.
Thank you, Audrey.
I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy person. I do appreciate it so much. I am going to sign up to be to take the Gwinnett Citizen 101 class.
Excellent.
So you will see my application come across the desk. And I'm also going to do the Dinner and Dialogue, because I want to see. Yeah, I want to know more about that. So that sounds pretty interesting too. So I will be signing up for quite a few things now that I have some time to get out and network and meet people and just learn more about all the great things that are going on here in Gwinnett. Listen, I know you're listening to me around the world right now. I have been sitting here talking to Miss Nicole Hendrickson. She is the Community Outreach Program Director over at Gwinnett County. She's given us some great information. If you're thinking about moving to Gwinnett, you might want to talk to her so she can give you more information about all things Gwinnett. I'll be back again on Monday, but listen, the county of Gwinnett is closed for President's Day. I unfortunately am not. I will be back Monday live on the air with you, talking more about what's happening around the town, around the county. And listen, if you missed an episode, make sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to any past episodes. Also, if you want to support what we're doing here, there's some T-shirts over there. I Love Gwinnett is one of them, and Rep Your Zip Code. So if whatever zip code you're in, there's a T-shirt over there with your zip code on it. So check it out, goodmorninggwinnett.com. Again, Nicole, thank you so much, and happy Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for the opportunity, Audrey, and you enjoy the rest of your day as well. Go Gwinnett.
Go Gwinnett. That's it. Go Gwinnett. Thanks so much. Listen, I'll be back again next week, God willing. Until next time, make it a great day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in daily at 9 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you missed an episode, go to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com to catch up. If you like this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the show now and share it with your friends.